I have to go through BG people. I bring my own stats to make sure that I got the right game on there.
It's usually wrong. Sorry.
Hey, remember that game when I was reading the stats off? It was the game before.
It sounded,
Come on.
said it with such authority, though. It was
Stay with me.
Yeah, I'm sure you forgot it. There's Jan Denny.
Coach, if you'll open up with an opening statement, please, sir.
It was a well of a college basketball game. You know, the first half kind of went back and forth. Felt pretty good at halftime. It was kind of a cookie-cutter half. You know, nobody had a big run, at least that I can remember. Second half certainly did not certainly didn't get off to a good start for us. The thing that carried us, though, was our defense. We were struggling offensively. I know we didn't score the first 9 to 10 minutes of the second half, but I thought at times previous to this game, but we would also lose our motivation on defense during those runs, but we didn't this afternoon. They kept guarding, they kept rebounding, and finally we made a shot or two and got on a little bit of a mini run and got ourselves back in the basketball game, and I think it kind of deflated them a little bit, and then I thought we executed down the stretch and made some big free throws.
Coach, if we would first talk a little bit, what were the problems offensively in those first, let's say, 10 minutes of the second half?
You know, just not finishing plays, not finishing shots. And then when we got down 6 or 8, I thought a couple guys were trying to get it back, you know, by themselves and forced it a little bit and, you know, didn't follow suit to the game plan of there's a lot more, you know, time than you think. But I can't put my finger on it. We were just off. We were out of rhythm. We were just a little bit off. They had increased their pressure a little bit, which we expected, and we didn't handle it as well we did in the first half, and we got out of rhythm.
And then conversely, then talk a little bit about the offense in those second 10 minutes. I mean, was there something in particular that you saw that got that rolling?
You know, I thought when Zach jumped up and made a 3, and then Spencer also got into the game and was making some baskets, that it changed the momentum. You could sense it in the building that the momentum had shifted to us, and the bench got into it. The crowd, the fans that we had got into it, and you know, they just we kind of came from the dead almost, you know, because it was pretty rough over the first 10 minutes. But just really proud of the resolve, because it would have been real easy to go south on the road when you're down 10 or 11, what we were, and we were struggling shooting the basketball. But they hung together and kept fighting and figured out a way to get the ball in the basket and get the upper hand.
Zach, well, you talked a little bit. I mean, you guys had struggled hitting threes for those first, let's say, 30 minutes. I mean, there were none in the first half, struggling to make them in the second half. Can you talk what it takes to keep taking threes when you're not making them like that?
I just tried to stay confident. I missed my first few threes, and then once I saw the first one go through the net, my confidence, it rose a lot, and then for the rest of the game, I felt good about my shot.
Was there something in particular that you felt opened up with that 3? I mean, was it a better look than the other ones, or just that's the ball that went through the hoop?
It's the ball that went through the hoop, but I knew it was a big shot, and we needed to make a run, and then when that one went in, it rose everybody's intensity.
He should be confident, because he has shot a million of them. He's invested in his game, and no one works harder, and you're usually rewarded for that. And every time he rises up, I think it's going in.
Just in terms of the overall picture, I mean, how big is a win like this to come from behind on the road, especially going into the final stretch of the MAC season?
Well, it's big because we only have 2 games left. You know, if we had lost this game, we're behind the 8 ball in terms of trying to have a chance to play for a conference championship, and certainly seeding is in play now as well. Every game is crucial. You've heard me talk about that many times. Within the game itself, you know, every possession is equal importance, but when you get late in game, they're more magnified. Same thing now in the MAC race. Every game counts the same, but you have no time to make up because there's only a few games left. So I have no idea what's going on today with the rest of the schedule. I know there's some night games, but it was crucial, and everybody knew it. We didn't hide behind it. We talked about it as a team, and we're up front with them where we stand and what this means to us going forward. And everybody knew it was a big game, and we reacted accordingly.
As big as Zach's shots were, you know, you mentioned Spencer. Those 2 shots that he hit inside went up strong and double teamed. how much does that help kind of get everybody going a little bit, making a shot like that?
Well, I've said it many times. We're better when either Spencer or Delvin's playing well. We just are. You can look it up. And he didn't play well in the first half. He struggled. And they were playing small. And last time we played them, we went small. And we decided to stay with our traditional lineup and see if we could gain an advantage on the offensive glass or maybe in the paint, and then hope that Spencer and Rashawn could guard those smaller guys. And this time it worked out in our favor. It maybe won't the next time, but this time it did.
Zach, will you talk a little bit, and I think you mentioned it a little bit, and I know Coach mentioned it, when you guys started scoring and the lid's finally off the basket, will you talk a little bit about the emotion you guys felt on the floor and on the bench?
Our emotions were high. We were very confident. We were just relying on each possession to get stops and rebounds, and then we went from there. We knew if we got rebounds and stops, we had a chance to win.
And, Coach, that's something else that we forgot to mention. Early on in the second half, you guys were getting crushed on the boards. I think it was like 13-3 early or something like that. I mean, it was, 13-3 early in the second half. Did that play a part in the offensive struggles, and then did you feel like that got rectified at the end? Yeah,
we lost a rebounding battle, which is disappointing. But, we just got off to a poor start all the way around, And you know this, when teams struggling offensively, sometimes they lose their motivation to defend as well or hard, and certainly rebound as well or hard. And certainly that was probably a case of that this afternoon.
Chris, just if you could talk just a little more on Zach, what kind of he meant to this game today and the way he's kind of really come on this season after last year.
Well, I wasn't here last year, so I can't comment on that. But I told our staff before the game, and I already said it on the radio, and I told Todd Walker, our voice of the Falcons, that Zach Denny was going to play well today. He had 2 really good days of practice. He and I had a very productive individual meeting, and his mind was right. And I could feel it, I could sense it. Even though he was 2 for 7 in the first half, I still felt he was impacting the game because he was playing solid defense. He was moving his feet. He didn't have a very good outing against Miami the last time, 10 days ago, probably defensively more than anything else. And he wanted to rectify that. We wanted to rectify that, and he did that today. He was on point. He was keeping his man in front. And then eventually he started knocking those shots down, which helped us win the game.
Not prying into, but your productive meeting, the gist of the meeting was what? To lift him up?
To try to help him. Sometimes I forget that he's basically a freshman. Right. I don't know how many minutes he played last year, but you could probably count him on 2 hands. Mm-hmm. And I sometimes forget that because we rely on him for so much. He plays multiple positions for us. He's our second leading rebounder from the guard position. He's obviously one of the better shooters we have. And sometimes I forget that. And it's a long season. And so I just kind of want to press the reset button for him and make him understand how important he is to us and how valuable he is to us. And couldn't be more excited that he's got, some more years left in our program.
Miami came into this one winning 4 in a row, including one at your place. Was there any kind of a different mindset about approaching them, how you approached them this time than there was the first time they came up there when things weren't going as well?
I'd like to think that me and my staff prepare for every game with the same amount of intensity and work. But kids are kids, and I can't speak for them, but I don't know if they were on the same page as us in terms of being ready to play. We just didn't have the same giddy-up that we normally do. So certainly after losing at home to them, which kind of started their streak, I think we were the first one, and they won 4 in a row after that, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they won more. Yeah, Ohio first. I'm sorry, right, at home, and then they went up to Akron and won and beat, and then Kent State. And then obviously this time it was real easy to motivate them. They had beat us, handily at our place. They had won 4 in a row against quality competition. So we had their attention, and I thought we were much more focused and ready to play today.
Zach, you heard Coach say that he thought you were going to have a big day today. Did you know that he had that feeling, or is that kind of out of the blue to you too?
I didn't know he had the feeling, but after we had the talk, I had a very positive mind coming into the game, and I was confident in myself.
Anything else, guys?
I do have one more, I'm sorry. We've talked to Coach. He says he has no idea to the answer to this question, Zach, so I'm going to ask you. You guys have been having a terrific season on the road this year. What, in your eyes, what are the reasons you guys have had success on the road?
We want to be road warriors is what we always say with each other. We want to get every road win because that's big. You're supposed to take the home ones, and every road win's a bonus. So actually this season I feel like we've played better on the road. So,
is there a particular reason that you've played better on the road in your eyes?
No one's got the answer to that question.
Yeah.
He's asked me 3 times. I don't know.
And I asked it 3 different ways and got no answer.
I don't know.
Do you see
If I knew, I'd change it.
Is there something in particular that you see? I mean, maybe, even pregame, warm-up, just confident together? What do you see?
Well, today we're real confident together. And on the road we do seem to be together a lot more because we're traveling and we seem to always be together in a hotel and everything. So that could be the reason. I'm not sure.
Watch your home game Tuesday.
Better answer than I usually do.